Hey everyone, I'm Becky and this is Fuzz, and this is episode 17 of the Hippie Mum and Dad podcast. Welcome. I hope you've been enjoying it so far. This week we are both rather tired. We have no news from the Wales Fertility Institute, sadly. It is getting closer to the end of September. I'd say we're like mid to end now.
Yeah.
So
every day is like, are they going to call? Are they going to call?
Yeah.
Are they going to call?
We've been waking up every day being like, today could be the day. And then I leave work at like 4:45 or whatever. And I'm like, yeah, no missed calls.
No.
Gutted from no one.
We're both really tired though. Yeah, basically we've got like, we're kind of semi looking after.
Not really.
But like, our neighbour's having a bit of a tough time, and she's having like problems with dementia, so she's being confused, and
we've had a few late night visits from our neighbour, like 4:30 in the morning, so that has been difficult this week. We're both exhausted.
Throws you out a little bit, but I mean, happy to do it because we just want to make sure she's okay and stuff. You can't really just ignore someone who's like having a really shit time. But hopefully the doctors will come and check her out soon, and she'll maybe stabilise or whatever. But
yeah, and my heart goes out to anyone who's going through that at the moment, because we went through it with both of our grandparents and it's really horrible.
Yeah.
So that is a bit sad, but we're both tired and ready for the weekend already, I think.
Yeah, I got loads of work to do. Got loads of catching up to do and social media stuff, and running a photography and video business is not booming at the moment, so gotta change a few things and stuff, which is a good segue into our guest today, who is
a wedding photographer, a lady called Elyse. We have a guest, Elyse, from Fuck You Infertility on Instagram. You may have heard of her before. It's a sweary episode, obviously. I didn't give you any warning before I said that. It was a great chat. So
she has more energy than us right now. And we have more energy in the actual episode as well. So it was cool. Basically, we talk about like being honest and just being kind of like upfront and normal on social media.
How we can cope.
Hence the name of her channel. And stuff. So
we hope you enjoy it. Hey Elyse, how are you?
Hi, I'm good today. Thank you. How you doing?
I'll say it.
I'm good. I just I wanted to say thank you because I have really enjoyed your Instagram feed. Fuck you infertility. Like I said, when I contacted you, I just love your graphics and your swears and just like everything. It just makes me smile and makes me just be like, yeah. Fuck you. Sorry for the swearing podcast. We'll have to put a warning in.
Well, sorry, you can't really have @fuck you _infertility on if you're not allowed to swear on the podcast.
So true. So can you tell everyone a little bit about you and what you're up to?
Yeah, so I'm Elyse. I am a photographer and I am a member of this crappy club that we're all probably a member of. Why would you listen to this if you weren't? So my fiance and I have been trying to conceive for just over 2 years. We actually just had our first round of IVF, which failed. But we got 2 frozen embryos, so on to the next stage, and we'll see what happens. But I joined Instagram. I don't know. I felt like I wanted to talk to other people who were going through the same thing. And I did find a lot of great people, and that I felt a nice connection to. But I also thought it was all a bit airy fairy and hopeful, and this journey is just shit. It's shit, and it feels good to me to say that. So my fellow and I always, whenever we're watching anything on the telly, which is quite a lot,
us too,
whenever something comes on, and this means that we do it about 10 times a day, where there's someone who's pregnant or someone who's got 5 kids or whatever, we always we started to just swear at the telly and just be like, oh, fuck you, fuck off, fuck you. So that's kind of where it came from. And it really helped.
Yeah.
I don't know. It just felt good to let off a bit of steam and kind of try and make it all into a bit more of a joke than it feels at times.
Yeah.
So yeah, when I started up the account, I don't know, I just had a lot to get off my chest.
Yeah.
And felt quite sweary, and I thought it would be cool to share that with people, and yeah, because I'm sure there's a lot of people who feel the same.
Yeah,
way.
I agree with you. I think there are loads of people who feel the same way, and it's interesting that you said, you know, you've met loads of cool people, but you found that it's all really hopeful, and it's quite tame, I guess, isn't it? And I think maybe that's part of our like Britishness, because like theoretically these people are kind of like strangers, and maybe like to your mates we'd all like be like, rah, fucking hell, like
there's definitely like a gallows humor like the Brits are famous for, where it's like if you know, you can find humor in dark things and just like laugh it off how shit a situation is.
Well, yeah, and I think as well it just depends on what your personality is, because for me that like I am a logical person, okay? So I know that this doesn't help everyone, but for me, this might not work for us. And I want to be okay, get as okay with that as I possibly can to prepare myself. Because if it does work, well, then we'll have other stuff to deal with, won't we? But yeah, so that helps me more than being too hopeful and too positive. Have you guys heard of like toxic positivity? It's like you're told, oh, you know, you should feel happy all the time, and you should think positively, and actually that life's not like that, and shit things happen, and sometimes you need to just sob under the duvet, and that's okay. It doesn't mean that you're failing or anything. It means you're a human. Yeah,
I think you're right. I've never heard like of that phrase, but it's so true.
Everything's a balanced mind, you know, like 'cause you can be, but yeah, I think
a
lot of people think that you could just go, oh, it's fine.
Yeah.
Just think positive. Just think positive, and it'll be fine.
Also in society, I think women are kind of like kind of not pressured, but made to feel like they should be positive, because if you're not the positive woman
what's
or
the matter?
wife,
why don't you smile?
What's the matter? Yeah. But also like, or you're avoiding the nag. Don't be a nag. Don't be a bitch. Don't be a cunt.
Yeah.
Like, so we have this kind of like.
I'm not going to C-bomb already, like 2.5 minutes in.
Like, boom, boom, boom. Yeah. It's it is.
Your mother's watching this.
Yeah, she will. My mum will watch it. Sorry, mum.
Hello.
Yeah. I'm sure
she can fuck off because she's had a kid.
How very dare you? But thanks, because I'm alive.
Sorry, mum, just joking.
How dare you, Sheila? I'm so sorry.
It's so funny. I'm sure your mum will watch too if she's your best friend.
Cover your ears.
But,
yeah,
they're good eggs, aren't they? Like
yeah, they are.
But
which actually, we haven't got.
I've kept a lot of this from sort of
family.
Close friends and family, and not kept it from them. They know it's happening, because when you first start, you're like, we're trying for a baby. Wow, so exciting! And I told everyone, like, we can start trying for a family. So of course, every time I see them, how's it going? How's it going? Any news? And then 28 cycles down the line, you're like, oh God, I want to kill myself. Please stop asking me.
Yeah.
So I've had to actually say to people, I'll let you know when there's something to ask. It's not, they know what's happening, but I just didn't want that extra pressure when we were actually going through a cycle, an IVF cycle.
And having to explain it again, I think that whole reliving it kind of, it's quite trauma, isn't it? Yeah,
it is.
I think most people don't really understand. They don't think of it. They don't know that they're being annoying when they ask. They think that they think that it
does.
Yeah.
It comes from a nice place, definitely. No one's asking in a nasty way, and they don't know what's just gone on. They don't know you got your period yesterday. They don't know that you any of the stuff that you're going through. So it's not their fault, but I do think we have to set the boundaries, and so I've done that now. So somehow talking to complete strangers on the internet is a bit easier. I suppose there's a bit less. I don't know. I don't even give a shit about people's expectations of me. I don't know why it feels like that, but I don't know, because
Yeah.
I'm the first of my close friends who have had trouble with it all. I don't know. I don't
It's
know
weird
why.
how
It's
many
weird.
people do have. I'm like a sieve. I get something. I hear an interesting fact, and I for the life of me, I won't be able to quote it ever again. But the numbers of people that do have to go through IVF treatment at the moment is really staggering. Like
Yeah.
it's not like
It is.
it's not. Beck, can you remember the figures?
It's like 1 in 8 or 1 in 6 people
That's a
have
lot of
fertility
people.
treatment or issues
Yeah.
with fertility.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot. It is a lot. I'm always, I mean, now that we're going through it and we know more about it, I'm just flabbergasted that no one bloody told me. Like,
Yeah.
we could have got on it, a couple of years ago. Well, that is when we started. But like a couple of years before that, I don't know. I don't know if we were ready then, but I don't know.
Maybe you would have
about
taken action sooner.
Should we blast through a quick
maybe.
little history of you guys, the whole like up to this point journey, just for listeners
Yeah, we
to
can
maybe.
do. Yeah.
So in as much or as
so-
little detail as you want to include, but you know.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. So just after my birthday, how old am I now? Just after my 35th birthday, we decided to start trying, which was a terrible idea because now I've got this milestone every single year. Oh, now it's been 1 year, now it's been 2 years, which is
Yeah.
annoying. But anyway,
Yeah.
we decided to start trying, and actually I had a little window into the infertility community before we started because I don't know if I've said so far on the podcast, but I'm a photographer, and I had a job with a company called Ferring, who I think they do some sort of IVF drugs. I'm not sure, but it was a kind of IVF bloggers summit.
Oh, cool.
That I was photographing. So I was taking pictures of people like this is Alice Rose and Keely, who's underscore trying to be a mum underscore.
Yeah.
And Mrs. K Meeks as well. And so I was listening to all of their stories. We'd just started trying that month. And I was thinking, oh God, these poor women, like I'm going to be pregnant next month. Like,
Yeah.
stories. Yeah, because you do, right? You
Right.
everything you've been taught about up until that point is if you have sex with a boy, you're going to get pregnant.
Yeah.
Like, don't go near that thing.
Yeah.
So I'm really, really pleased that I had that little, like.
You knew about it,
Because it was hard enough as it was. If I had to discover all of that on my own, or worse still, not discover any of this information and just try and struggle through it on my own, that would have been really tough. So anyway, after 6 months, we went to the doctor and we got things rolling. Luckily for us, we were eligible for 1 round on the IVF, which included 1 fresh and 1 frozen cycle.
Yeah.
So our issue is male factor.
Same as
They're
us.
just
Yeah.
Oh, is it? Okay, yeah. So ours like triple threat.
Yeah.
Like numbers are a bit low.
Yeah.
Morphology and motility both bad.
Yeah.
But anyway, it's our issue. I don't
Yeah.
want to have kids with anyone else, so it's fine. And actually, as it turns out, well, the round didn't work, our first round, but it's quite a good one if you're going to choose one of the issues to have.
Yeah.
Because we had a round of ICSI and IVF, so that's where they select a sperm to be injected directly into the egg.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't know. I've heard that of all of the issues, it's one that can be got around.
Yeah. We've had the same. So I'm really sorry that it didn't work. That really sucks.
Yeah, thank you.
And was that recently that you went through that round?
Yeah, it was. It was not last month, the month before.
Oh, like
I have to say, I mean, I wasn't that nervous. I was almost kind of just glad to be doing something, something productive. And I found the process itself, like injections and just the timings and the pessaries.
Yeah.
Fine. I found them fine. Not like wasn't like
I love these
side,
pessaries. Like, yay.
Yeah, it was okay. It was okay. And And I think sometimes you don't hear that from people. You hear from people who have a terrible time.
Yeah.
So yeah, the process of it, like the physical process of it, I found okay. But the mental stuff, the emotional stuff towards the end of the 2-week wait was just, it was horrible. It was horrible, but it was fine. You know, I just had to cry it out under the duvet and, you know, just a few days of that.
And swear.
Yeah, and swear. I did a bit of swearing.
Yeah.
I did a bit of swearing. And actually, I have to say, last month when we didn't have anything to do because it had failed and there was nothing we could do but wait till ready for the next one. It was so nice. It was so nice not to have to think about any of it.
Because there's nothing you could do. You had to just literally,
Yeah. It was really lovely. It kind of makes me think,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
almost dreading the next stage more than I did the first.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, because you've got that experience of like, I suppose it's just that upheaval. Because I know, well, we haven't had any rounds of treatment yet, so we're still waiting. But
it would be good if you could prepare.
Yeah.
For this before it happens.
Yeah.
Because I always think the worst. I always think the worst possible thing's going to happen, and then that way, if anything happens at all, I'm ready for it.
Yeah, I think that.
But that's not a very good way to live, and it's pretty
Yeah.
It's not nice. But I'm just naturally like that. I always assume the worst.
Yeah, I agree. Do you think, Elyse, it was like hard because I don't know. We've both felt and heard that when you have IVF, you're like, we're having fertility treatment, and the first round you just think, oh, it's going to work. Because you just do, because you think, oh, it's the answer. But obviously that's not the case, and it's very rare for it to happen. Even if you are having ICSI or if there's only like one side of like an issue on one part, you kind of just like have that hope and think, oh yeah, it's going to happen.
Yeah, I mean, like how many of us got any hope left in the bank?
I do.
But somehow there's always that little bit, isn't there?
And it's that 2-week wait. I've heard that the progesterone that you have, even that progesterone mimics pregnancy, doesn't it? Anyway, in a normal cycle, but am I right elevated. In thinking you have extra progesterone given to you when you're in a cycle of IVF?
Yes, so that's what the pessaries are.
Yeah.
So they're just trying to load you up with progesterone to keep the lining all juicy and nice, I think.
And friendly. Like, stay in there.
Hospital.
Yeah. Clench your butt cheeks.
Yeah. Don't fall out.
Yeah. So sorry. Was there a question there? I can't remember.
No, I don't know.
I think there was one at the beginning.
Was it hard? Because did you assume that it would work? Like we were thinking, like,
I see. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I think it's a good idea to know that it might not work.
Yeah. Because
somehow, if you think it's going to be this miracle, and then the thud back to earth just kind of hits you even harder, probably doesn't. It probably still feels just as shit, but yeah, I think it's good to sort of balance it. I don't know. I mean, at the end of the day, all you can do is do the steps that they tell you. Yeah. Like however much you hope or are positive or are negative or swear or pray or whatever. Yeah. I wouldn't do that. I'm an atheist, but it's not really going to change the outcome. Yeah. So you just have to sort of look after yourself. Mm-hmm. If it helps you to sort of temper that hope and just say, okay, look, it might not work. Just stop.
But I think if people do that, they're probably going to be less pressured, less stressed. Do you know what I mean? Like if you kind of just accept, this might not work. I know this is all so much easier said than done, but if you could just accept, whatever, let's see what happens, and not try and get your hopes up, then your body might be like less stressed and less on edge, and that might have an effect. Like you never know.
It could do, but sometimes I think if it's going to hurt you more to think in the negative, then you're going to be hurt twice, aren't you? So maybe for some people it might be a good idea to think positive and be hopeful and enjoy that potential, even if it doesn't work. For me, I think it's better for me to stay a bit calmer and not think too far ahead.
Just take it
whilst we were doing it, I was just trying to take each day as it came and not I don't know.
Try and find a middle ground, I guess.
Hope.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is it a lot, like going through the actual process of stimming and stuff? Is it intense? Because you have to, because of the rules and like what to do. Did that feel like a lot of pressure?
No, it didn't. It was made quite clear to me what I needed to do. It was 1 or 2, and then the last injection day was 3 injections a day. I found the injections absolutely fine, to be honest. The first one I had to get Rich to do. And then actually that was quite a nice part of the process for him to be a part of it, because like, oh, it's so shit. Like we have to do everything.
Yeah.
All they have to do is wank in a bloody cup.
I know.
I know. So I wish that was all we had to do.
Yeah. I wish we could practice giving injections on them.
Yeah, that would be good. But you know, it was fine. It was quite nice. I'd do the injection, and they didn't tell me I had to do this, but I'd have a little lay down for 20 minutes, half an hour. And obviously, because of COVID and everything, there wasn't anywhere to go or anywhere to be.
Yeah, nice.
And so actually, I think that helped quite a lot. But I found I like doing something. I like being productive. So I actually quite enjoyed it. And then when the 2-week wait hit, and you shove a pessary up your ass like, once in the morning and once in the evening. But yeah, kind of almost was like, oh, the injections have stopped. Which was, I don't know why I felt like that, because I've got the schedule through for the next part, and there's even more injections in this frozen embryo round. Yeah, which I was shocked about. I thought it would be a bit simpler, but anyway.
Wow.
It is what it is. Yeah.
So
know, really.
Did your IG account come before or after or during your treatment?
So it came before, it came just before, and actually I haven't put anything on. So after our round failed, I haven't actually posted anything since that happened.
Yeah.
Since actually probably about the first week of the 2-week wait.
Yeah.
It just was all a bit much, and actually I have enjoyed the past sort of, I don't know, 6, 7, 8 weeks not having it all in my head. It somehow helps. It helps during or like a little bit before, because it feels like you're doing something.
Yeah.
What are you doing? Moaning to a load of other women on the on the internet, but somehow it helps. But when it was a reality, I was a bit like, oh, you know,
it's too.
I need to try and distract myself from it, not kind of immerse myself in it.
Yeah, step away.
And I felt a little bit like, oh God, you know, I was enjoying it, but I'd also, I'm sure everyone can send me all sorts of new ones to do, but I felt like my well had run dry, you know. So I haven't posted for quite a while, but you know, the things that I said before are universal and timeless, really. Like,
they are.
For a lot of people.
Definitely. And you also started like a runoff from it, because and I can't remember the handle exactly, but basically our infertility stories, is it?
That's it. Yeah, our infertility stories. Yeah.
Yeah. And that was that basically because did that come after or during as well?
So that came just over halfway through the fuck you _infertility account. I think a lot of it is because I don't have much of a job at the moment. Yeah. So I needed a project.
Yeah.
But I had this idea.
Yeah.
So all of us who are on this shitty journey have spent, you know, hours Googling and ending up on, you know, Mumsnet forums and never quite knowing the full story of what people have been through or what happened in the end or anything like that. So I thought it would be a cool idea to have a bit of a directory of stories of people who've gone through infertility, and a whole mixed bag. So some people who it didn't work for, so any treatment or anything, and then are childless or child-free, however they want to be labelled. Some people it did work for, some people had twins, some people you know, have had traumatic experiences, miscarriages, and all sorts of issues obviously can be the reason why a couple or a person is infertile. So I kind of want to create, and I'm in the midst of it, a directory of stories. So you could go there and you could search for exactly what your symptoms or what your sort of story is, and find full stories from people who've actually been through it. So I've got lots and lots of stories. The response has been incredible. I need to widen the search a little, because just by the nature of where I'm requesting those stories from, there are a lot of people who are still going through it. So I kind of need to tip the scales a bit with some positive stories, because I'm told it does work for some people. So I'm looking forward to getting some more of those and getting that together, but also quite aware that I need to look after my own sort of emotional well-being at the moment as well.
Definitely.
So not too much pressure on myself.
I mean, I think what you've done with our infertility stories. I think it's really good. I think it's really nice to have so many people who are advocates for kind of supporting other people going through it and raising awareness for it. I think it's really valid, but also I think it's interesting what you just said about looking after your own kind of mental well-being while trying to do it, because I
think it's really, really underrated that how triggering and how like upsetting it can be, because people because you have to go through this thing every month. You have a reminder that the thing that you want the most you haven't got, and then you see people with kids and they come in, like when we talk to a couple of guys.
It's everywhere, isn't it? Everywhere.
And then you look for it when you're aware of it, or you're more aware of it, so you notice it more. But we had a guest on from the infertility clinic, the network infertility.
Fertility Network UK.
And that was a good episode, and she talked a lot about people's like rights and employment rights and things like that, and like how to deal with it in the workplace. I mean, we're both self-employed, so it doesn't really, we don't have a choice really. We've got to just do whatever we got to do to do it. But when you're in a workplace environment, I think people don't really know, like if they've not had any experience with IVF, they wouldn't know. They just don't think about like what it might be like for someone going through that, and like how they might be upset, or not upset, but like get upset when there's baby stuff around. So if there was a way that we could communicate these things so that like everyone kind of knew about them, it might make everyone a bit better. But it's tricky, because you don't want to be like, like I imagine people could worry about being seen as like really fragile and like too. There's a balance though, but it must be. I mean, I hope that we don't get really, really bad and stressed and worried and emotional when we're getting closer to the actual stuff happening. I'm trying my best now to like prepare myself for like being as mellow or neutral as possible.
I know. I think with the work thing, one of the issues is that everyone's different, in the same way as on Instagram, the people that you follow and that help you will be different. It might be fuck you infertility, it might be hope and and the angels. Like everyone's different. Some people might not want anyone to know anything about it, because it just makes it even more painful. Basically, it's just shit either way. Like no one can win, can they? Like everyone says the wrong thing, everyone asks the wrong questions. And it is such a great idea to try and prepare yourself. It's so good, but also you might not be able to prepare yourself for everything, and you just have to let yourself feel what you feel. And
well, like we're getting a little bit stressed out now because I don't know if just to sort of keep rapidly get people up to speed, but basically me and Becky were meant to have our phone call in March to come in and start treatment. COVID happened. Everything got messed up, and all the staff got redeployed and everything. They're getting back to normal now, and we've been told because of our situation and because of all the details of our case and stuff, that we'll hopefully be expedited, and like when they start the stuff again, we should be getting a call at the end of the month. And now there's just fucking loads of idiots running around having house parties, licking door handles, and like making COVID go off the scale. And you're like, oh, cheers. Now because you have a basic human right to just do whatever you want and not care about anyone else, like we might have to wait another year, who knows, like it's horrible.
So have your clinic not started up again?
Just about.
Yeah, they have. So they started up I think they did their first treatment again in July.
Okay.
And they obviously prioritized patients who needed their fertility preserving and that kind of thing, and those patients who were in the middle of rounds or had like transfers cancelled and stuff.
Just quickly, how shit would it be for people? Because there were people that started their rounds in March, did all their injections, and were like all prepped and ready to go, and then they went, oh yeah, no.
Yeah, on the day it closed, there will have been people like in the car on the way to the clinic having a phone call like, "Don't come in now." And they will have pulled the trigger.
Ready to get their eggs collected.
Yeah.
I mean,
or transferred.
Have a shag and then like have septuplets.
Yeah. Okay. What? Oh God. Yeah.
Oh,
So there's people worse off than us, but I think
it doesn't help though, does it?
No, it doesn't help.
But it gets really, really annoying when, like people, like, because this COVID stuff, like, it's I'm almost fed up talking about it now because it just, we've been through loads of it before, and it's just, but literally, it comes down to this. If people want to be heroes and just suddenly become advocates of human rights and want to do everything they want to do, or these people that are like fighting to do, you know what I mean? Like, oh, I'm not wearing a mask, I'm not doing this, and you're like, how selfish are you? Because it's not just people like us that are waiting for IVF, but they're like people waiting for operations and people.
Yeah.
Like,
absolutely.
and it's just so selfish and upsetting, and it's hard. And so I've been super duper negative for a while, and I'm trying my best to be a little bit more positive. So,
yeah. Do you know what I'd suggest? Just stop reading the news and stop.
I
put
do
Facebook
generally
down for a little bit and just kind of.
I haven't watched the news for about 2 months. I literally just go.
Yeah.
I don't care. It's all.
I
bollocks.
remember at the start of lockdown, I was like checking the numbers of deaths.
Yeah, I think we all were.
Every day at like 4:30.
Yeah.
So just updated it quick. Yeah, but I mean they are creeping up again now.
Yeah.
It's so tough. It's so tough. It's tough for everyone.
Yeah.
It really is. And I still feel, but I really feel for you guys. Don't you just feel like your life is on hold? I'm like I'm waiting for my life to start. Whatever that looks like, whether we have a kid or not. I just feel like I just want to know if it's gonna happen.
That's worse than bad news.
Yeah. I think as well, like if lockdown and COVID wasn't happening right now, you'd kind of be able to like distract yourselves like while you're waiting for treatment and doing fun things so that you don't feel so much like your life is on hold. I don't think that feeling ever goes away until you have the kind of answer,
closure,
as it were. But at least you could be busy and distracted. But most people have to stay in and stay close to home and not do normal things, isn't it? It's weird.
So what's like we'll try and get some positivity back on track here because I just literally dragged this through the through the dirt. So your frozen round, what's going on with that? Do you your next round or whatever?
Yeah, so we've got the schedule for it. So yeah, it's coming up.
Yeah.
I don't like.
You don't want to say when.
That's until it's done. Yeah. It's just that pressure thing. It helps me to just.
Yeah.
We'll go into our little bubble and. Yeah, we'll just get on with it. But
we'll touch wood for you.
I suppose we can do another podcast after.
That'd be good.
All about it. I don't really know what's going to happen. But I mean, we've got 2 frozen embryos.
Yeah.
One might not thaw, both might not thaw. Okay, like it's not a guarantee that you're going to get around. And unfortunately, this will be. Well, I mean, I'm so grateful that we've got even one round on the NHS. It's just amazing. So yeah, we've got, I think I said before, we've got 1 frozen round now, and then after that we'll have to pay if we decide to carry on with it.
I know, and it's really hard, isn't it? You kind of, I notice, like you're saying, I'm really grateful, but you kind of have to check with yourself, don't you? Because you shouldn't really have to be grateful for being able to being supported to conceive or have a baby, because I don't know. Yeah, it's nice to be grateful, but at the same time, it's not fair that other people like us are offered 3 rounds and you're only offered 1.
Wow,
that's just a postcode thing. Like in Wales, that's the case for everyone. That's where we are.
There's a lot less people in Wales, though.
Yeah, but it's still not fair, is it? Because there's people in UK and in Scotland and
Hey, listen,
Ireland.
don't speak about it too loudly. They'll take 2 of those rounds off you.
Yeah, I know, yeah. But do you know what I mean? It's literally it's not fair.
Could be American. You have to pay like 20 grand or something.
Yeah,
stupid.
I know.
But you could live like 2 miles down the road and could have got 2.
Yeah.
And it's nuts.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. I mean, I feel about it a bit the way I feel about furlough. Like, I didn't get as much as I would normally pay myself.
Yeah.
Like 80% of what I would normally pay myself, I've got about half of that because I have a limited company and it's
Yeah.
you know, I'm just so grateful for what I have got. I think sometimes, I don't know, I just think I'll just be grateful for what I've got because I can't control it, and you know, we're trying to plan ahead, with our treatment and
there's always going to be a line.
What we're going to be able to do.
There's always going to be stuff you're not in control of, so and I think if you live anywhere in the UK, we are pretty lucky to have like what we get.
Yeah.
So.
In the world, lots of places in the world.
God,
that would just be it. Like, sorry, well, you'll just have to be part of the childless club, kind of thing.
Yeah, and it's also it's just so prohibitive for anyone who isn't like loaded, basically.
Yeah.
You know, so it's just like, well, poor people aren't allowed to have children.
Yeah.
Like, what the hell? It's a bit weird, but I don't know. It's a difficult one because there are people who need like life-saving operations and treatment for diseases. I don't know. I find it a difficult one.
It's quite philosophical.
Yeah, it is. It is. Yeah, the philosophy is just whacking me right in the stomach here.
Oh, I love it. Yeah. Oh, it's so cool. So, are you gonna? You know, you said about our infertility stories. Is that gonna stay on Instagram, or is the plan to, like you said, you were gonna stretch your field? Is that to get more stories, or you want it? Like...
I've bought the website. I haven't done anything with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool.
But I'm thinking a website. But for now, well, again, as I said with Fuck You Infertility, I haven't been posting recently, but I'm taking like little bits of little quotes from some of the stories that I've already got and posting those on Instagram just to kind of keep the momentum going and
that's good.
I'm gonna get back to it. I just need to I need to do it when I'm ready.
There's a lot going on. You gotta be gentle with yourself.
Self-care is so important, but we'll definitely put links and stuff into the podcast,
and it'd be good to get you back on as well. It'd be nice to sort of you know, have like you said, you know, with stories, like sometimes you don't always get the full picture and you want to sort of get the next chapter, as it were. So it'd be kind of cool to like have you back, and you know, same with other guests, and just like we can keep up to date with stories and stuff then, and let people know. And
maybe a good source of people with positive stories, or people who've actually been successful with pregnancy, is approaching Kat Strawbridge at Trying Years. She's got the Finally Pregnant podcast, so
cool.
Maybe there'd be women from her followers who would have stories for you.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, that sounds good. Yeah, it's another stream.
Yeah.
A lot of people have actually said that they really enjoyed just writing it all out.
Yeah.
And I had a real mixture of so I send a little email out to people with some pointers about things that they might want to think about including. So if people don't feel that comfortable writing, then they've got some things to guide them. But most people who've sent it through have said, you know, that was really nice to just get it all out of my head and out and just onto the screen.
Yeah.
No one's written no paper letters yet. So I think it might even be a good thing to think about doing, even if you don't have to send it to anyone. You know, just for yourself, just to kind of work through all of this, because it's shit. It's so shit, and it's all like buzzing around in our heads all the time. Actually just get it out. Get it out.
That's a good idea. So is writing something you do for self-care? Is that like a go-to for
you? Interesting question.
Yes,
I've always I've always liked writing, but I haven't I wouldn't say that I've done that myself. I haven't written my story yet for it. Maybe I should write my story.
Yeah.
I don't know.
See how you
Sometimes you feel like you don't. Yeah. Sometimes you feel like you don't want to write it until
It's done.
Don't want to jinx it.
some sort of end point. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
But I will write it. And also, obviously, because our issues are male factor, you know, I'm conscious of the fact that it's not just my story, and you know, I want to check that Rich is okay with everything, anything that I'm putting out there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like writing. I enjoy writing. And yeah, I mean, through COVID, I'm sort of starting to use those skills a bit more with this new job. I'm sort of doing a bit of copywriting.
Yeah.
But yeah, it can be really, really cathartic, I think.
Yeah.
To get it all out.
Definitely a good
Take my own advice.
Yeah, no, it's definitely
One of these days.
yeah. It's so easy to tell people what would be a good idea to make themselves feel better, but then you forget to look after yourself, don't you?
Yeah.
So often.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, Elyse, it's been so cool to chat to you.
Oh, you guys too. It's been really, really nice.
Yeah.
It's so nice to just talk to people who know what's good. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's just weird. Talking to muggles about it.
Yeah, I love it.
You know.
I love that Harry Potter
just,
reference.
Well, I used to like Harry Potter. I'm not a fan of J.K. Rowling currently.
Yeah, no, after her tweets.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
We can get into that.
Yeah, we like her literature. Don't know about
we'll separate it from her. I've got a few fucking swear words for her, okay?
Yeah, I'm not surprised. Yeah, I feel yeah. Yeah, so it's been lovely to have you on, and like I said, we'll definitely link your Fuck You Infertility rather, and our infertility stories, just to signpost people to reach out to you about their story, especially like you said, those people who like maybe reached the end and had a positive outcome. That's really cool. So get in touch with Elyse, and yeah, thank you so much for coming on. It's been awesome.
Yeah. Thanks a lot.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.
Thank you. See you soon.
Bye. So that was really awesome to catch up with Elyse, and yeah, we haven't really got any super exciting things to sort of announce or like look forward to, because we're really, touch wood, hoping that Wales Fertility Clinic are going to call us by the end. If I said it wrong again,
Yeah, Wales Fertility Institute.
Wales Fertility Institute are going to call us by the end of September, like they said. Big shout out to Dr. D'Angelo.
Whoop whoop. Yeah.
For just being an awesome doctor and seeing us, and you know, like, just can everyone just cross their fingers, chuck ice cream over their shoulder, or whatever it is you got to do, but like,
I think it's normally salt.
we just want to get it done now. We just want to get started. So
Yeah, we do.
hopefully that'll be
In the next few weeks.
yeah. Well,
Maybe?
what is
I
it
don't
now?
know.
This will go out tomorrow, which will be the 24th of September.
Yeah,
And they said it'll be by the end of September, didn't they?
I know. Fingers crossed.
So,
So-
we'll be back with another episode next week.
And in the meantime, you can check us out on our Instagram at Hoping Mum and Dad, or if you're listening to us on YouTube, and maybe this week. Well, not this week because it's Thursday tomorrow.
Let's go back a sec. Like, so yeah, a lot of people listen on one thing and don't know about the other. So like, if you are working from home and you have YouTube on, you're furloughed, or you were an office worker working from home and you can have YouTube on in the background.
You can check out
That's
our
us.
faces.
Yeah.
Oh, hey.
It's actually quite funny watching the thing, because you just watch me stressed now, going, oh shit, is this gonna work? Is this cable gonna fall out? Is everything going fine? So it's a bit extra. But if you're on the move and you're commuting and you know all that kind of stuff, we're on anywhere you get podcasts, including Spotify, which I gotta say I've started using lately. And
For podcasts, you mean?
No, for listening. Yeah, for listening to podcasts.
Yeah, because you normally use Podcast Addict.
Yeah, I use an app which pulls it in, but Spotify is really cool because you can sync it across devices quite easily. So like, you pause it on one and go to the other one. So big shout out to Spotify.
Yeah.
For because they've only just added it properly, I think.
No, it's been on there for ages.
I'm just a silly baby.
Yeah, you were always telling me to download a podcast app, and I was like, I've got Spotify, it's fine.
Yeah, I thought you had to pay to get your podcast
No.
on it, but you don't.
No.
Because we're on there.
We're on there. We're famous. And so check us on out our Instagram. Check out our Instagram. Check us out on YouTube. Check out the Facebook. And yeah, as I was saying, maybe next week we need to get back onto Twitch.
Yeah, we'll mess around with
We've
Twitch.
got a bit more time. We've been a bit tired, so we haven't done a lot in the evenings because we've been very busy. We've just been doing a bit of self-care, looking after Coco, and yeah, that's been the bulk of our lives, just trying to get through the day.
Say your name again.
Coco.
She just looked at me and wagged her tail like she's going to go for a walk. I'll take her for a walk in a second.
You said once, actually, that when we do our podcast, you should have a dog cam.
Yeah, you should.
So maybe we should
see that corner there where her bed is? I was thinking about putting like a little backdrop there, just to make it look less shit. And having Coco corner, and people can just check in and just like, if they're feeling a bit shit and they want to see like a cute puppy.
She's so cute.
Yeah. Right, I'm going to stop rambling. Thanks for tuning in, and thanks for all the support. We will see you next week.
Yeah, bye.